is going on, everybody? We are back once again with another edition of Wrestling Republic's Off the Air, a special edition. Immediately following No Mercy. Happy Labor Day weekend to everybody out there in the good old US of A. What a wicked card. Throwback pay-per-view title. We've got the sweetest crew of all time, the usual wrestling off the air crew. But we've also got a special guest from another show on Wrestling Republic who's also basically a member of this show by default, the GOAT herself. Megan is in the building all the way out in NY. What is good?
Hello. I'm feeling good. Well, no, I'm lying. I'm sad. I'm so sad. My guy didn't win, so I'm sad about it. And I'm just here to spread some of this sadness tonight.
I hear you. I believed myself. I was waving my hands from side to side, and I'm as disappointed as anybody when it comes to that. But we've also got the usual suspects in the building right now. First and foremost, let's send it out to the DMV. And I'm not talking about the Department of Motor Vehicles. Northern Virginia, its finest. Shoddy, the Tuesday Night Delight. More like the thrice night delight. The three times night. Three times. He's did 3 shows today. Shad.
Mr. Triple Crown himself, Shad Talks Graps, is back once again on this YouTube page, on this Instagram page. I can't wait for the comments to just completely obliterate me from the daily because I was proven right tonight. The best wrestler in the world wrestled tonight. That isn't you, Danielson. That isn't you, Osprey. That isn't you, Gunter. And that isn't you, Codemeister. It's Miss Roxanne Perez. Let's get it.
Absolutely. Respect. I did not have title over the shoulder on my bingo card either, though, Shad. I can't lie to you there. That was a whiff on my part, and I love it. But we can't start this show without sending it out to Louisville, Kentucky, to that guy you should do. What is it again, Driz?
Good morning, afternoon, and evening. It's the guy you should believe in. Your boy, Dryzzy, a.k.a. Plug Funny, the wrestling plug. You don't know what to watch. I got it in my pocket for you. That was an interesting show. I don't hate it. It was a very interesting show. But if we're gonna have to go back and look at predictions because I think I hit almost every one of them except for one.
I believe, Drizzy, to my knowledge, that is accurate. You're pretty dang on the money there.
Actually,
I missed
picked
two.
Wendy Chu,
and
and you picked, I think you picked the U, right?
I did pick the no. No, I picked Frazier. I picked Frazier next guy. I don't know. We got to go back and look at that, but I think I did pick Frazier next.
I do think you picked Frazier.
I do, but we did all say this. Whoever lost was going to be turning on somebody. So,
yeah, I know. Clark got the most wrong, so that's all that matters.
No.
You know what? Yeah,
I'm a gambler.
Because me and Drizzy had a lot of similar.
Thank goodness I didn't gamble on this one.
And Clark picked. Yeah,
all the people I wanted to win.
Who did you pick to win this main event tonight, buddy? No, matter of fact, no. You picked Tony D to beat Obafemi. That's what it was, Drizzy.
No,
yeah.
wait.
Yes, you did, bro. I will pull the clip up right now.
Too.
I did or Drizzy did?
You
did.
Oh,
no, I don't know. It wasn't me.
You picked Tony D.
Oh, yeah, I did. I went Chicago. Yeah, I was trying to be loyal. No, it makes perfect sense. Yeah. Bit of a whiff. Probably overthought that one, a skosh, I would say, in hindsight. But, it's always 2020. And we got good friend of the show in the comments here, Josh Markowitz. Good show. I think he's talking about NXT, maybe us, but we'll take it as a compliment.
Yes,
Bobby Patino said, "What's up, guys?" What's
Hey,
up, Bobby?
Bobby.
How are you? He's got his twos up, and then backstage brawl with good people. And then
Oh,
Yeah.
he chose who to be
Yeah.
over.
Backstage,
oh,
backstage, first and foremost, salute. But yeah, he picked Tony D to be over Femi, gang. So
Hey, I'm a Chicago guy.
look, you're not in the boat by yourself, Clark. I thought he
What?
was gonna win too. I
Thank you,
thought he was
Megan.
gonna win too.
See?
Like I'm look, I'm still in mourning, all right? So don't hold it up against me, okay? Like I'm still grieving right now.
Absolutely
Okay.
fair. I thought the spine buster might get the job done. It didn't. Speaking of things that, oh, dots not connected. That
Yeah,
main event, I'm almost as heartbroken as you, Megan.
I
Like,
don't know.
I thought we finally had it. Joe Hendry was the guy to beat Diet Scott Hall. He was gonna do it. He had him. Scott Hall Light in that goofy smile. That goofy freaking smile. And the eyes and stuff. Yeah, no, he's got waxy ears, basically. I think he's basically practicing picking his earwax. He's just doing it on his cheek.
Like,
He's a
Oh,
good heel. He's a good heel.
I like him. I like Ethan Page. I'm sorry.
I
He does his
am.
job well.
he's
Yeah, he
very
does.
good at.
I mean,
it
it's
made me
very
mad.
it's very easy to fall into the all ego trend, like he makes you want to dislike him. But I don't know. I guess I thought the good guy was going to win. I'm really surprised Pete didn't interfere in the match because I really thought, there was going to be some type of, shenanigans. I thought maybe he was going to get back at Trick, but also get back at Joe because he was in the triple threat with him. So I saw Pete kind of, two birds with one stone type of situation. But, he surprised me. He waited. He waited. He didn't show up until after the match. So kudos to you, Pete, for staying out of the match. But I know Trick is going to whoop that Trick on Tuesday.
I
That I
cannot
know.
wait.
He's
I ain't
like,
gonna be wrong on that one.
I agree with you there 1000%. Especially, I mean, like Pete Dunne, as great as thank goodness it's not Butch anymore. But
Yes.
we have
he became Pete Dunne became a menace.
he
He
did.
brought
He
work
on
in there,
everywhere. Like my name, listen, I'm everywhere at all times. He doing
including
his Joe
Speed.
Hendry. He trying to do his Joe Hendry impersonation. Don't say my name. I'm showing up anyway.
It, it was I liked that the bitter end was the end of the show
Yeah.
because it built excitement for Tuesday night, but I'm on the exact same page on Trick Williams going over Tuesday night. He has to. I mean, after the performance tonight, and I even made a comment early in the match myself about like we've seen a lot of special guest referees lately, not a ton, but in some big spots. Seth Rollins, no knock on Seth Rollins, heck of a wrestler, heck of a performer. Trick Williams on the ref thing, he had it down. Big swinging counts. The like, it, I loved the way that part of the story was told in this match. It was to me one of the highlights of the match, and I thought Joe and Ethan did an excellent job. It was a world title match without question, but Trick was the story to me. I thought Trick was the story of the match coming out of it, and we've also got a question here from Bobby Petito, which is where does Joe Hendry go from here? That's really interesting. I'm not sure either way.
I'm not sure I can say anything about it because we
I
don't do
don't
that.
know. I don't
I
know.
I fear that this may be a temporary end of the road for Joe Hendry on NXT for a little bit.
I don't think we're gonna see Joe Hendry get to the Rumble.
Yeah.
You think
I would
so?
agree with that.
Hmm,
I don't like the end result of this match personally because I'm gonna
I
stick with my
don't.
guns and say what I said previously on this past week. I did pick Ethan Page to win, But I think you ruined a very special moment, and you ruined a potential special champion for NXT. And I know he's not a WWE superstar. He's not on the NXT roster, but you got to maximize what you have in regards to like usage of superstars. And he's as over as anybody is on, and he might be the most over male superstar on NXT these on TV besides Trick Williams. And it's just good usage of it. Him having a short reign or a medium reign, for this last, you know, batch of pay-per-views, PLEs that we're building to would have been a great thing for NXT. Ethan Page, solid wrestler, man. Great heel. He does what he does, but he could afford to lose because he plays the heel role so well, and Joe Hendry is the beloved babyface. I don't know. I just feel like there could have been something very special having Hendry become the first TNA superstar winning the NXT championship. It would have been incredible for TNA. Maybe I'm also thinking off of a fair trade of things, but like, dude, man, this dude is just he's really a special talent in pro wrestling. You just see him on your social media feeds, your algorithm all the time. I don't know, man. I feel like giving him the belt for to Halloween Havoc would have been a good move on their behalf, and I think it's a bit of a missed opportunity because, like I said, the men's side, the main event side, it's lacking a little bit with some superstars after the last call-ups. Like they're getting a little bit better, but like someone of his magnitude could have really benefited and helped a lot of people, especially just mixing it up with him.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to agree with you there. Especially as far as the finish is concerned. Like, you're making a ton of sense, Drizzy. Before we do move on here, I gotta get your thoughts on this main event scene. More importantly, though, you gotta be on the same page as me when it comes to Trick Williams. Very clearly, is regaining this title in the near future.
I believe so. I believe so. I felt like this was a journey to try and see how, how you don't believe the hype on some things.
Mhm.
I don't think that they truly believed the hype. I think they was believing the story of Trick and Mello, and they weren't 100% sure that Trick was who he said he was. And I think tonight and these last 2 weeks have proven he's exactly what he said he was and more. Best interest of the night, and he was the ref. The crowd went nuts for him, and they have been since he lost that belt. Trick Williams is the biggest star in NXT at the moment. Biggest NXT star. I guess that's the better way to put it because
You
Joe
know,
Hendry is on a different level.
I,
But Trick is
I
he's
think you're
definitely
spot on there. He's the biggest NXT star. Joe Hendry with the viral, with the following. I mean, you hear Jamal Williams in preseason talking about the I just learned this and delivering the song. Like it's pretty amazing what Joe Hendry's accomplished. But as far as homegrown talent, as far as like all of that, it's Trick Williams all day.
mhm.
And I think you're dead spot on when it comes to that. Like, absolutely.
I said I'm not gonna speak on the Joe Hendry situation because I know too much. So
Ah,
I've spent a good amount of time at TNA, which Joe Hendry was at. So I'm just gonna keep myself in my little box here,
Yeah,
Drizzy,
in my little four by
I
I'm,
four.
love that. We are spoiler free over here at Wrestling
yeah.
Republic.
That's right. We don't do
Well,
bullshit.
Monster shout out. It isn't easy when you know.
I, I don't have a spoiler, but I do have a prediction. You know,
Mhm.
like Paul, but maybe Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
That's enough time to
Definitely.
pop up. I just saw the video that WWE posted up where he was talking to Sean. They had the age old question: what's next for Joe Hendry? Pretty much him and Sean is talking. Again, he said anytime, any show, any place. So I'm thinking Royal Rumble.
Rumble.
The
Imagine you see the
Rumble.
Crazy.
imagine you in the Royal
Also,
Rumble.
I'm
You got
thinking
Seth Rollins in
your
there. And
point. Sign
that,
him.
By
Sign
that
him for the
time,
Rumble.
hopefully
that's
by
Sign
that
him.
time,
that's
he
tampering.
can.
I don't know
Little
contracts these days.
patience. Just sign him.
Well, is it tampering if WWE and TNA is working together?
It's true.
If he's under contract, it's technically temp unless they could buy it out. But
It'd
Unless
Can they buy out? I've never
T.
be
Well,
unprecedented, but I think it would be legal.
I
we
mean,
are a
there's
very
contract buyouts
in
in
wrestling.
If we have any
it
lawyers
could be,
in the
yeah.
viewership, please comment
well,
what the
yes,
legality is in this
I
situation.
don't know if it's happening in wrestling, but
but don't okay. But isn't TNA in some type of partnership with TKO that is over WWE?
in
So
regards to
The
technically, it
some
would
to
be
streaming.
some streaming,
It's
yeah.
a streaming out. It's the streaming aspect.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
they use the same software for their streaming.
they're like
Well,
business
Yeah.
okay.
friends.
Well, just like Drizzy, I'm not gonna speak on things that have not been confirmed, but I think TNA and WWE is in the bed together.
That is, I think that's a very fair assessment. There's almost no doubt about that at this stage, given the amount of crossover we've
So
seen.
they just need to come
Yeah.
on and announce it already.
100%.
They're getting married, everybody.
Special love, man.
Sitting TNA and WWE sitting in a tree. No, but
Yeah.
KIS. Sorry, that's wow.
That's
I
the
am a
ca-
child.
that's the caption I used to announce that me and my wife on line for the baby thing.
I love
First
that. That
comes love, then comes marriage, then yeah.
comes a
I thought that
baby
was
in a
smooth.
baby carriage. Get
I
him,
thought it was
Shoddy.
smooth. I thought it was smooth. Yeah.
Mm.
That was awesome. Yeah, we'll work on that. That was good stuff. Let's move on though to our next topic, our next match. Tag team action. We have Fraxium, Nathan Frazier and Axiom against the U,
You.
not the Miami one, but Chase U. Different guys,
Aw.
totally different. But Ridge Holland, not stoked tonight. Totally not stoked. They take the loss, they lose the belts back, and he turns on his friends.
Mm.
Left the university. I don't know if he's transferring. I don't know what the
He's
NIL
in
deals look like,
it.
but he's definitely left the U. Is all I'm saying. Yeah, pretty fascinating stuff here. Megan, talk to us about it.
Uh, well, all I can say is, I'm bad with names, Clark. Who is the one that was beefing with Ridge
Duke.
Duke Hudson.
within Chase
Yeah,
U?
Duke Hudson.
Okay, I think they owe him an apology because he knew,
He
he
did.
knew,
He
he
called
knew
it.
Ridge wasn't worth two doo-doos. He knew, but they wanted to give Ridge a chance, and they're like me because I believe in giving people chances. But what Ridge did tonight just proved you can't give everybody second chances. Sometimes you have to let them stray by themselves. And, you know, I have to admit, I'm a little disappointed that they took the titles from Chase U so quickly. I really wanted to see where it went with Ridge and Andrew Chase. Um, being champions. Like I was excited. They had a whole little like taper parade. It was ish type of event. It was really fun. I was happy for them. They looked like they was having a good time. And then these guys, they came and they told them they was taking their belts back, and that's exactly what happened tonight.
Yeah.
And you know, I I I like me and my sister, we were trying to figure out, is there going to be some type of reunion with Ridge and Pete Dunne? I don't know, because after they broke up, he Pete, excuse me, Pete deliberately came and he attacked Sheamus. He never came after Ridge, even though
It's
he's
so
on the same
true.
brand with him. He never attacked him the way he came after Sheamus, accused Sheamus of leaving him, and he held a grudge for months against Sheamus. So I'm wondering if there's going to be some type of reunion between them two, because right now, like, they're getting revenge on people for whatever reason, and I'm confused by it all. But overall, I thought the match was really good. Um, just watching Axiom and Nathan, like they're high flying guys, like they barely keep their feet to the ground. And so it's just, like they always give good matches. So I'm not surprised that they regained their titles. But I'm just a little sad behind it. But yeah, like what's next for Chase U? What is next for Chase U?
It's such
That
a
is the
great question. I think coming out of this match, that's the toughest thing. And to your point, like Duke and Andre Chase in the first place made a ton of sense. The Ridge fill-in factor, like Duke called it the whole nine. It's there is a story there. That match has to happen. I think that's got to be out of the gates, right? That's we need to see first. Likely, I do think also what you alluded to with the reunion with the Brawling Brutes
maybe
is
Yeah.
possible. That is very much possibly in the cards.
because
And
Tyler Bot, I almost
Tyler Bate,
I was almost about to say Tyler
you're good.
Bate and Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne,
Yes, boy.
The Frenchman?
Pete Doom.
yes. The
Yes,
the
Pit
but
French the
Dunne.
French tag team.
yeah, cause
Palabate.
but yeah, well, that's what Pretty Deadly called them, Pete Dunne and Tyler
Yes,
Bate.
about that.
Um, little
Pete
inner
Doom.
joke, but
Hey, bet.
yeah, he's gone. He's injured until next year, so it's like maybe there will be a reunion between the Brawling Brutes. Sheamus is now on his own. He's on the main roster. They have Pete going back and forth between Raw and NXT. Um, I would hate that they feel like they always have to put Pete in a tag team. Like, I think
Yeah.
he stands really strong on his own.
Yeah.
Um, but if they
Oh,
do, just let
might cut out.
him.
Might cut out. You're good.
Okay. I was just gonna say,
Wait, Megan, I'm so sorry. Your mic cut off
No,
some
I
for
can
some
hear her.
reason.
I
I
can
can
hear
hear
her.
it.
Um, can you hear me?
we
Yeah,
can
Yeah,
hear
we hear
you.
you
we
You
can hear
can hear
too.
you.
me.
Wait, mine cut out. Hang on, my audio is jacked. Shad, take over for a second. Let me fix this.
Go
Yeah,
Definitely.
ahead.
nah, it definitely is. I totally agree in regards to that. I personally don't want that to be the situation just because
No, I don't.
Pete,
But if they do, just let the Pete and Trick feud play out. Is what
for
I'm
sure.
saying. Don't rush into putting them back together, because I really feel
Hmm.
like there is, maybe, like we said, at some point Trick can focus on regaining his title. But right now you do have this feud between him and Trick, which came from out of left field. So, like, I'm confused. Like,
Yeah,
why you hate Trick so much? I don't understand, Pete. What is your beef?
he hates everything.
Pete
But
Dunne
yeah,
hates
No, what
all
is your
things
beef?
happy. He
that's
doesn't
kind
like
of been
happy
his
things.
steez. It's been his steez for a little
So,
bit. We got a couple comments though that we'll read
ooh,
before as Clark
comment.
gets this. Got Bobby Petito saying, I think members of Chase U got to do matches at TNA in the future. I
Oh,
agree.
they
I
do though.
agree. You,
They have been.
they have been.
We actually
Riley
had Rylan.
Osborne.
He was in the Ultimate X match at Emergence.
Yeah, I
Yes,
would
he
like to
was.
see. I'd like to see Thea Hill mix it in the knockouts. division. I think there's some matches over there for
Get
her.
Yeah.
some Thea Hill versus some Ash by Elegance. Yeah.
That'd be
Ooh,
fire. They didn't
that
get
would
to.
be.
I don't know if they wrestled in NXT. Um, Bobby
Go
also
ahead.
said,
Can you hear
"Yeah,
me?
what's up, bro? Yeah, you came in
We can
abruptly.
hear
Just
you.
Bobby also said you have Andre Chase and Duke Hudson go after the TNA Tag Championship. Clark is wilding right now, dog. Oh man, let's get to the next topic though, so we can progress with the show because we definitely want to get through all of these topics and not be past the hour mark. Um, we have the two brothers colliding, man. And speaking of TNA, two members of the Rascals, Wesley, Zachary Wentz, and I think you said in the prediction show, Drizzy, that this match was going to be poetic in a manner because you are going to feel the story being told. You're going to see the physicality. And I think these two gentlemen put on a clinic of a very great, methodical one on one match from a great story that's been told throughout the entire process. And that cutter, that UFO cutter that Zach Wentz hit on Wesley would be on a Sports Center top 10 highlight reel if anything would needed to be on it. That joint was absolutely filthy, man. I loved everything about that. Uh Driz, what Mr. TNA himself, man. Mr. TNA himself. I'm gonna open the floor for you. Break down this match and how you were right. Because you
This,
did pick the right winner, by the way.
yes. Yes, because I booked this whole thing. This was one of the biggest weekends for Zach Wentz. Emergence, he became the X Division champion for the first time. He is on top of the world. He was able to somewhat, somewhat put a bit of a damper on Wesley, just shrink his ego a little bit. That's what this was all about. It's like we were brothers, and you think you're better than me just because I made a mistake one time. And and we have to be 100% on this whole situation. Wesley's not 100% wrong for feeling the way that he feels. He was let me say it a bit. He was left because Zach made a mistake, and Wes had to pick himself up and figure out how to move on his own. And it's just after everything. Yes, he did have the support of Trey and Zach in the background and everything, but Wes figured it out on his own, and he let that power and that confidence go to his head. We talk about confidence all the time with Jada Parker. This is negative confidence. He got to a point where he's like, "I'm better than you now because I'm in WWE. You're in TNA." But Wes forgets they both were in TNA together. And one thing about TNA is say what you want about TNA, that's where some of the best wrestlers in the world are at. You think about guys like Speedball, you think about guys like Josh Alexander, you think about guys they had in the past like Nick Aldis and AJ Styles. These are some of the best wrestlers in the world. So Zach, he's cut from a good cloth in TNA. And tonight, TNA just happened to be the best wrestler in that ring. Wesley tried to. They had an X division. This it was a story of two matches. The first half was definitely an X division match, but the second half is when the story started kicking in. And with Trey's, I'm not gonna say it's the interference, but his presence being there, Wes is not gonna let this go lying down. They have a title, number one contenders tag match on Wednesday. Definitely expect to see Wes and expect for this match to have a part two either at Victory Road in a couple of weeks or at is Halloween Havoc the next NXT pay per view.
I believe
Yeah,
that
it
is the
is.
case. Yeah.
It may be at Halloween Havoc, Victory Road, maybe possibly and what I would really like would be for it to happen at Bound for Glory in October. But this story is definitely not over. It has a lot of legs, and the video package for it, perfect.
Definitely.
Que-
Eh, I agree.
Question,
It's
question,
rematchable.
question for you, Drizzy.
Yes.
Question. They got the tag match. What if Trey turns on Zach and we get a Rascals triple
We
threat
thought
match?
about that.
Let me tell you, the world is not ready for that. Because currently, at this moment in time, I would go ahead and say that Zach and Wes is a feud of the year candidate.
Mm-hmm.
You add
Wow.
Trey to that in that very way, because Trey originally turned heel once both Wes and Zach left him,
Yep. And
Right.
he became the star that he
that
well
he's always
deservingly
been.
is. Yeah.
Yes.
He was a little too happy go
And
lucky in that post fight interview tonight, too.
and
You saw it. You saw
and
it.
but hold up, let's also add this. There's that X Division
Look.
title that Zach is holding now too.
Mhm.
And
Hmm.
Bound
that's a
for
title that Trey had.
are
He
we
took a couple
talking
looks, too,
Bound
during
for
that interview.
Glory? Are we talking
Bound,
Bound for Glory?
I think
Triple
Bound for
threat
Glory,
match?
that's a main event type of match for
Oh.
Bound for Glory, in my opinion.
I mean, that's one of those, like you can do some crazy stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
how about a ladder match?
Yo,
Like with
I
those
ain't gonna
two,
lie.
I
If
feel
that
Myron
might
Reed
break my
showed up
brain.
and sided with West, and then we had a Rascals tag
a
team
four
I
way.
didn't
match,
even consider that.
Let us
Mm.
get a four-way going.
oh my God, that'd be crazy. Myron Reed is a spectacular professional wrestler, bro. He's so good.
Absolutely off the charts.
Yes.
Oh, that would
Myron
be
Reed is the fourth rascal that should really be getting talked about a whole lot more than what he
Hmm.
actually is. Also, Louisville boy.
that would be nothing short of
Yeah.
delightful. I mean, nothing short. Absolutely. Let's though move on to the next one. I am back. I don't know what happened to my audio there. That was wild. First time ever. Honestly, I've been convinced my house has been haunted for years. I think it's
Oh
the
my
ghost.
god.
I'm blaming the ghost. Um, it's on the ghost this time. Speaking of ghosts and freaky stuff,
Mm.
Wendy Chu freaking us out. Makeup artist, monster shout out. That was art. One of
Mhm.
the most outstanding jobs I've ever seen when it comes to professional wrestling. Absolutely off the charts. Not to repeat myself again, but deserves the time. Kalani Jordan, one of the best athletes in all of pro wrestling, no doubt about it. Michigan State gymnast. We know it defends the title. Shadi, your thoughts on this match?
Yeah, man. Shout outs to Tom Izzo and company, right? Um, nah, man. This match was not a bad match by any means. I definitely think both of these women came out and performed when they were given the opportunity. They got a good amount of time, and the lights are big. We're in the stadium. It is something that's well deserved. So kudos to them. But a lot of it didn't click for me. I think a lot of the chemistry aspect between both of them just didn't mesh in times. I think it's one of those standpoints where Kalani is a human highlight reel. I think she has a move set that is super athletic, that you get a lot of high flying styles to it, and she works a very fast pace. With Wendy Chu, slower pace, more of a slower athletic. Like it just, I don't know, timing in certain spots didn't work, but when it did work, it was hitting well for me. I think Wendy's heel gimmick needs a little different of a move set, a little bit more of a submission style, a little bit more of a striker. Like when she got her in the lock, like that type of stuff makes sense.
Yeah.
I think a little bit could be smoothed out, but it was a solid bout nonetheless. Another win for Kalani Jordan while she goes through this North American title reign. And I think she's someone that is improving through the process. I think she's someone that is still very young as a pro wrestler. She's brand new into it, and she's going through the ins and outs of just trying to understand all of it. And I'm hoping that we get a good storyline for her post this one now, because this joint just didn't hit for me as much. I don't know. I wasn't as invested going into it, and maybe that kind of lacked a little bit watching it. And I have a lot of high praise, and I have a lot of high expectations for Kalani in her route as a pro wrestler in it. And
Yeah.
I think she's good. But we must acknowledge the most important thing in this match, and you knew it was coming.
Ah.
Tatum Paxley got sweet revenge on Wendy Chu. And this is the reason why I don't like her. All right? You you ain't the dark spooky lore queen in NXT. That's Tatum's crown. Don't come in here and try to jack her style, all right? Go back to being Sleeping Beauty and having slumber parties and all that stuff, right? You ain't even invited to the slumber party. She even made a doll for you. But I would have just throw that doll, do some voodoo. You ever watch the episode of Hey Arnold when Sid had the little the soap
The
for the principal?
little voodoo doll.
Yeah, the little voodoo. That's what she should have done. Crack it. Break that back of her. She don't mess with Tatum Paxley, man. Tatum Paxley needs to come
Tatum,
back, spin the block, and get that
Tatum,
title shot versus Kalani, because she needs to be the next champion. Thousand Day
Tatum,
reign too.
Tatum may want to watch out because she's got friends on the other side.
Oh.
We seen that last week. And the last thing NXT needs is Decay running around NXT, kidnapping
Yeah.
people and
Yeah.
tossing them into the
Tatum,
other.
Tatum is not seeing Rosemary.
Yeah, Tatum's weird.
Not
She's
like
not
Halloween
Tatum.
Havoc.
supernatural. Tatum's weird. She's not
Scary.
supernatural. There's a difference between the two.
Halloween
Yeah.
Havoc
She's
coming.
freaky in a
Rosemary,
different
stop
way.
running.
That's
Come
not who I'm
on.
worried. You're worried about Rosemary. I'm worried about Havoc.
Just Havoc, yeah. She's crazy too. I love it, man. Halloween Havoc, bro. Let's have a haunted house match. A haunted house match, and Tatum
Let's
I'm
Paxley
in.
have
gonna run through
no,
all of them.
no. Let's have our Hardy compound match.
That'd be fun too.
NXT hasn't had one of those.
Mm.
We got an interesting comment over here on Instagram from Unrealized Thoughts, which was it was a chemistry problem. This match should have worked. Also, Kalani's highlight in her reign was the soul match. Wendy's last match that was great was the street fight with Tiffany Stratton. I'm assuming he's saying.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's kind of a fair assessment, actually. I'm
Yeah.
inclined to agree with a little bit of that. Like,
I was like, yeah, I hear you out on it. You're
She
not wrong.
yeah,
she also is coming back from a significant knee injury too. You can see her wrestling
Sick.
with the brace.
and
So
there's a reason you're putting shoes on at this point, right? Like, you
yeah.
think about like
Right.
who in the I can't even get to the bathroom in footy pajamas, let alone wrestle a match.
The,
Like,
the thing is this, to what y'all was saying. I think Tatum Paxley should just squash Alexa Bliss when she comes back too.
why not?
Why not?
Just reestablish. I
Because
don't know.
it's
Because
Tatum
Shawn likes
Paxley.
Tatum Paxley.
So what is Alexa Bliss going to do? She going to tap in Nikki Cross, Sister
What's
Abigail?
Alexa? What's
That would
Alexa
make things
Bliss's
scarier.
dog called again?
Lily.
What's her dog? Lily?
Lily.
She
I don't
gonna
think
rip
Lily's
Lily's
around.
head off.
I don't think Lily's around anymore. I think Lily got absorbed into the Bray Wyatt thing. So
It's like,
essentially, it's Nikki
And we
Cross.
could have a cinematic match,
Yeah.
Lily versus Tatum Paxley's
okay, by
dog,
the way,
and they can wrestle each other too. That'd be
Unrealized
fire.
Thoughts. I have to give a monster shout out because I just love this comment so much. Just commented tables, ladders, and scares. That's outstanding.
Oh, Shawn
shit.
Michaels is writing that right now.
I'll
Shawn Michaels
take
is
it.
like,
Someone write
that
that down.
now.
Write it
I
down.
like it.
Someone
I like
write
it.
it down. I love that.
Only if my girl Shotzi was healthy too. You know that they gotta let her be hosting the Halloween Havoc still.
Oh, I'm sure her and Scarlett will be the hosts again.
Absolutely. Okay, really
No carrying
quickly,
cross though.
Oh
let's
no.
talk about let's stay North American for our next topic. Really quickly, we've got Tony D, Chi-Town legend, as I was reminded of, made maybe not the exact most accurate prediction headed into
Yeah.
this match this week, but it was entertaining when I said it. I'll tell you what. We've got Obafemi doing what Obafemi does, and that is Mac trucking people. And what I love about this match, though, is he's not one dimensional, never has been. Sold the spine buster, sold the spear. Well wrestled match across the board. This was so dang good. I could watch these two wrestle over and over and over and over. Both deserve monster props for the show that they put on in this match, because I don't think we had this on our bingo card as a bell to bell potential show stealer, and it was in that category. Absolutely. I think Tony D is main roster bound. So if this is the last time on NXT, I see him in the same ring as Obafemi. That's all right with me right this second. But this is definitely not the last time I see these two inside the squared circle when it comes to WWE competition, because it was that good. Tony D hit another gear. I didn't realize he could move that quickly in relation to his normal style. Obafemi, the king of intimidation, and continues to do so. Every movement, every facial expression is so dang believable. You can't make it up. This guy is the future, but Tony D deserves some flowers too. These two can wrestle over and over and over again, and I'm cool with it. I'm totally cool with it because I thoroughly enjoyed this match.
Is it
I
fair to
agree.
say that Tony D's time with the Heritage Cup taught him some new things about himself?
I kind of think so. I think that's the
It helped him
brilliance.
as a worker a lot. To your point, it looked like he's leaned up a little bit too. Like he looks a little slimmer,
Quick.
a little bit more agile. I noticed that too. Maybe it's because they gave bro like some like fresh ring gear today, right, for the special occasion.
Yeah.
He not wearing them
Yeah.
like
Not in the sweats and the beaters.
sweatsuits and no beaters, right?
Mm-hmm.
He
And
need to get like pizza stains on his beaters though, bro.
It's just like a little marinara sauce.
Yeah,
you
why
know, it's like
not?
Clark, I agree with you. I do believe that Tony is on his way out. We I think I said we was talking about it last week on Spotlight, or maybe last week on off the air. Tony D being in that Bailey
Hmm.
spot because they need stars down there. And Booker T and Vic Joseph did make sure they said Tony D is a main eventer. He has it like he is one of the bigger stars down there right now. And it might be time for him and Stacks to go up to the main roster and let Crucifino and Rizzo run NXT for a while.
I don't hate that idea as long as the debut is impactful for Stacks and Rizzo when they join Tony D on the main roster,
I
because I just the family is so, to me it's so entertaining.
and
Right.
and they have
No
to go to
knock on
and they have
Crucifino.
to go to NXT and they have to go to NXT.
No knock on Crucifino. I'm making a
But
new family. D'Angelo, Stax, Rizzo, and Giovanni Vinci.
Mm. But
Hello.
where is Giovanni going to be in the ratings of the family? Because
He
he
would
was
be
like
the
third best in Imperial.
This would be interesting because you can tell a real mafia story there. He's the
yeah,
Exactly.
native. He's the
Cause
he's
he's
the
a
he's
different
the
type of
he's
like
the
Mm-hmm.
Godfather.
he's
this might even
Yeah.
be
exactly.
the this might even be what brings Tony up anyway. Giovanni's already debuting on Friday. He's like,
Yes.
oh, we're doing all this. Let me call my Don up here. I'm like,
And
Don.
Giovanni makes it feel more of a serious faction compared to it being as like funny and gimmicky. I think that
Yeah.
adds a different layer and element to it.
And if he's sending the direction from Italy,
And
Oh.
that's
I'm a
a that's
Godfather fan. I'm a fan of mafia movies,
yeah,
mob
man.
stories.
And then
Ooh,
because you could run back Legato versus the family on the
Yep.
Mhm.
SmackDown then, right? That was a
yeah,
great story on NXT. You can run it back differently now. I don't know.
that would be pretty dang
We
fascinating.
also they also have to acknowledge Pretty Deadly.
And you're putting yourself in a
Yeah,
position where, language wise, because we know Vinci, English second language, speaks good English and can speak
oh
on the mic if he
yeah.
needs to.
He can
If
speak
he's
three languages, I think. I think he's like
multiple, yes. But if he's delivering those instructions in Italian, changes the game on
it's
those some of
different.
those
It's
promo
different.
packages, right?
Yes.
I mean, just that could be fun as could be.
Hmm.
I would be all over that, for lack of a better way to put it. Let's move on though to our main event. In my
Yes.
eyes,
The real.
the real main event
Hmm.
of the evening. Roxanne, Roxanne, sorry, Roxanne Perez, Jada Parker. Jada Parker is awesome.
Yes.
Showed up and showed out tonight. If you're going to lose, do it gracefully.
Hmm.
That's exactly what we watched tonight.
Yeah.
An absolutely beautiful performance from bell to bell. Megan, I'm going to start with you on this one. How dang good is Jada Parker?
I said it earlier on a taping of Sunday Night Spotlight, I believe, that there is such a level of respect for Jada. I could see her improvement, I could see her growth. Roxanne did an interview where she gave nothing but props to Jada, um, complimented the work that she has done um, at the PC. And Jada is a star. She has the aura. She has the Riz. Is that what the young kids say? The Riz.
Yep.
I'm a little dated. Um,
They're saying
but
Riz for sure.
okay. But there, she has something that can't be taught. It comes natural, and you could tell when she is, whether it's against Roxanne, whether it's against Sol Ruka, whether it was against even Mia Yim, you know, um, like your ass belongs to me, things like that, like little things that it can't be taught. It has to come from within, and she's just a natural. And as for Roxanne, she impresses me every match I watch of her. Like she surprises me. You could tell she is also a star as well. She learned from the greats, and you can see it. You can see it in her matches, you can see it in her promos, you can see just the way she carries herself. She these two women are bound to like really set the main roster on fire when they are called up. And I when I watch them, I always think, who would I want to see them first go up against when they do make it to the main roster? And it changes. It periodically changes because, just the level of growth that you see with them within each match. Um, so I mean, it was a good match. I definitely agree with you guys. It should have been the main event. Um, but of course, Miss Julia, Miss Julia has made her debut. She is she got her eyes set on Roxanne. She have her eyes set on that belt, and she's here to make a name for herself. And if I was Roxanne, I would watch my back and I will watch my front because Julia she is different. She is not like anybody else you ever faced now. She's not. She's coming from a different walk of life, and that is
Mhm.
going to be a match. And honestly, I think Roxanne gonna lose her damn mind when she loses that title. I do. I do.
I,
I think she is going to be a cracked egg.
I'm
Honestly,
completely with you. Not just for front and back. She needs to watch her sides as well.
everything
Like she needs to be looking
above her and
around,
below her.
spinning around like in circles, head
Yeah,
on a swivel.
she's gonna
No
have.
doubt about it.
Julia's not gonna. She's not gonna take it easy on her.
At
So
the end of the day,
she
though,
has to be ready.
I had this as my match of the night. I
It
truly
was.
did.
You
It
should.
was.
In every sense of the word, it was delivered. And then we got Julia as like the cherry on the sundae.
Yeah.
What
It
more
was.
can you truly ask for? Driz, I want to get your thoughts on the main event too. And then Shad, obviously, got to get the breakdown on Julia too as well.
Absolutely. This match of the night, and it solidified two things. It solidified that Jada Parker, when the lights are on, is there. She is it. She has it. She has it by the boatloads. She couldn't get rid of it if she had to. It's impossible for her to get rid of any of it. She's got it. And I said that she was going to lose this match, but it was going to give her the last little bit that she needed to get over the hump. So next time she's going after a belt, she's getting that belt. There's no stopping it. The crowd absolutely behind her. She's such a relatable star. She speaks to this generation. And at that, she's only been doing this 12 months. We've only got one other guy who's been doing it for less time and is this good already. I don't think that when they booked this match, that they thought it was going to be as good as it was. Jada stepped up to the plate and knocked it out of the park. And then we need to talk about Roxanne Perez in the ring. She is giving Bailey and Sasha Banks, Mercedes Monet levels of creativity in the ring. This was a PLE main event match and should have main evented this show. Jada and Roxanne don't be in fact don't, you know what? Forget it. NXT match of the year right here. It has all the pageantry, all the elements of a great throwback attitude era style story. It's so good. And this is the best women's division in all of wrestling now. And you have it in developmental.
Yeah.
You have great, like new superstars who are just learning and within 12 months main eventers. You have indie superstars who have been homing their craft for years and have gotten to the WWE and are mastering this level. You have your international stars who have been crafting their stuff for years and now coming here to NXT, not going to the main roster. They don't want to. They're not worried about dealing with Nia and them. They want to build with the best wrestlers, and right now the best wrestlers are wrestling in NXT.
I, Drizzy, I think you're spot on.
Well
Like,
said.
dude, it's the wildest part. Like you said, it's a developmental brand. It's
Yeah.
not really close. It's not really close. There's not another one where you're like, well, that's just as good. No, it is the best booked division
And this is
on
coming
the.
from a TNA guy. I
Yes,
know I love my TNA knockouts,
absolutely,
but right now they're at a down period, and at that same time at that down period, NXT is on an up period.
Yeah, they're booming.
100%. Okay, Shoddy. Before we take this one home, though, you've been waiting. I know,
Oh yeah.
chomping at the bit. She's here. She's here.
She's here.
Talk to us about Julia, my friend.
The rich are getting richer. We are talking about the best booked women's division, the deepest women's roster in professional wrestling, and somehow you allowed them to get an ace, one of the best Joshi wrestlers in the last 5 years. Julia, this is mind-boggling in my opinion, bro. Like, I don't know how the WWE and NXT was able to maneuver this, but this is an all-time signing. This is in the level of when they got Io Sky. This is in the level of when they got Asuka. Just a complete beast from Japan, and I am beyond excited when the lights hit and the smog came out and you see Julia looking like an absolute superstar that she's always been. You felt the goosebumps through a lot of fans out there in the arena, and you felt the goosebumps from probably from Roxanne Perez because she's got herself a legit competitor. Them two facing off tonight is the two of the best women's wrestlers in the entire world facing off. Not exaggerating at all. If you're talking about pure in ring ability, these are two of the best women's wrestlers in the entire world. And I think we are in for a all time treat of a match whenever this does occur because you can tell from the grin in Roxanne's face, she is here to welcome the competition, and she has been waiting to go against someone at her level. This is someone that a lot of people want to wrestle with. This is a woman, if you haven't seen her, just look at what she's done previously in Stardom. Look at what
Check
she
the
just
tape
did
library.
in Marigold. Like the library is absolutely nuts. A lot of match of the year contenders. She is a hard hitting striker. She is going to make you feel it in your chest. You know what? Go watch her versus the AEW Women's Champion
Mhm.
Mariah May, because that is a match where they were beating the living shit out of each other. Pardon my French. Like
Well played.
this is gonna be crazy, bro. Like I'm so excited for it. Let me say this before we wrap up. Also,
You're good.
tonight's match was one of the best women's matches this year. Jada Parker deserves her flowers because she tapped into a bag that helped her grow within a superstar and she solidified who she like that she belongs to be in this business. The character work was there, but now the in-ring work is there. She sold the ribs like an absolute beast. She was able to catch Roxanne and do all the strong woman moves like an absolute beast. She did her thing tonight, and I said it earlier today, and I'm going to say it again. Roxanne Perez in 2024 is the best women's wrestler this year. You're talking about a fighting champion. She has had 15 title defenses thus far in this reign. She's gone against the most different style of professional wrestlers throughout the entire reign. She is better than Liv Morgan. She is better than Nia Jax. She's better than what Rhea Ripley did. She's the best women's champion in WWE this past year when you talk about what she's done. And she's only 22 years old. So
It's
kudos to her. Kudos to Jada. And welcome, Julia. I'm excited to cover you on Tuesdays.
I could not agree more. That was beautiful shot. And not to steal Booker T's gimmick to here, but we're not Shucky Ducky Quack Quack. We're Lucky Ducky Quack Quack to get to cover a division like this. Like, I mean, NXT has such great wrestling in the year 2024. It's kind of unfathomable. The idea of Julia and Roxanne, the idea of a breakout like Jada Parker, the Kalani Jordan, who we covered. The depth of this division is unfathomable.
Yeah, we can name all of them, bro.
We can go
So
20 deep.
Ruka, like it's
We
just
could talk
so many people, dog.
the rest of the night. Unfortunately, we are up against the clock here. So that does bring us to the end of the show. Thank you, everyone who tuned in. Please like and subscribe. If you haven't already checked out Sunday Night Spotlight, what are you doing? Check that out immediately as soon as I'm done talking. And then tomorrow, daily broadcast, noon Pacific. That's 8 on in the UK. That's 3 Eastern, and of course 9 a.m. in Hawaii. And yeah, no, that's the end of the show. On behalf of me, Clark Taylor, Shoddy, Drizzy, and most importantly, Megan, thank you so much. Have a happy Sunday. Happy Labor Day. Enjoy yourself. Stay safe. Talk to y'all.